What is up, friends? Good morning. Greetings and welcome to the Brightside, your nutritional program dedicated to the understanding of the vast world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. I'm your host, Pharmacist Ben, nutritional pharmacist from Boulder, Colorado, registered pharmacist number 12275. I specialize in using nutritional supplements where other healthcare practitioners use toxic pharmaceutical drugs and deadly medical procedures. If you suspect that there are natural nutritional roads to your vitality and health and well-being and to addressing your health challenges, whatever they may be, but you don't know where to begin, you have come to the right place. As you listen to the Brightside every day, you are more and more knowledgeable. You are more and more in control of your body, and you know you can overcome any health issue. That's why we are here every day on the Brightside, helping clear up the sometimes confusing world of nutrition and nutritional supplementation. Over the last 27 years of practicing pharmacy, I have seen drug-free recoveries from diabetes and hypertension and obesity and skin diseases like acne, psoriasis, eczema, rosacea, digestive ailments, autoimmune issues of all kinds. Recoveries that by the standards of modern medicine can only be called a miracle. But what is in the world of the body, what is in the world of biology, standard operating procedure. Because the human biological system is a healing system. It's a regenerating system. It is designed divinely to heal and renew itself on a moment-to-moment basis. And while some folks may call that healing system a miracle, it really is no miracle at all. It is simply the way the body works. If you have questions about health or nutrition or prescription drugs, if you want to get off your meds and get on a good nutritional supplement program, let us help you. We welcome your phone calls on the Brightside. Our number is 855-660-4261. If you have a success story, if you want to contribute to the conversation, 855-660-4261. Likewise, if you have questions about the longevity products, the ones I take and the ones I recommend, give us a call at 855-660-4261 and try to get on board early so we can get to as many calls as possible at 855-660-4261. If you want to purchase any of the longevity products that you hear us talk about on the Brightside or advertised on the program, you can head over to my website, brightsideben.com. All the products are up on a shopping cart on the upper left-hand corner of the page. Pull down on the menu. Make sure you take a specially long look at my personal favorite longevity product, the Beyond Tangy Tangerine Multivitamin Mineral Complex Powder that you add to water and drink. I've been seeing the results of this stuff for going on 17 years now. Beyond Tangy Tangerine first, then Beyond Tangy Tangerine, now Beyond Tangy Tangerine 2.0 with probiotics and prebiotics and GMO-free. You can find out all about it at brightsideben.com or by calling the Brightside Ben phone team at 866-735-2470. That's 866-735-2470. Make sure you ask about joining the Brightside Ben team. For a one-time $10 fee, you can enjoy all the tax benefits associated with having your own business. You can write off your home office, write off your mileage, write off your products that you give away as samples, and help spread the word about the importance of a good nutritional supplement program, not to mention getting your products at the wholesale price, and not to mention making a little bit of money as well. And some folks are making a significant amount of money. You can find out all about it by calling the Brightside Ben phone team at 866-735-2470 or by clicking on the Join the Team link on the upper left-hand corner of the page at brightsideben.com. Also want to encourage you to check out my blog, pharmacistben.com, which we update regularly with news stories as well as blog posts. I got a story, I have a blog post coming up there, hopefully today, about selenium. That's pharmacistben.com. And thank you to my webmaster, Robert Lundgren, who does such a fine job on my website. Okay, we are talking about cysteine. I love this stuff, man. Cysteine is a sulfur molecule, a sulfur amino acid, one of the two main sulfur amino acids, two main protein-building sulfur amino acids in the body. There's actually 3 sulfur amino acids, but 2 of them stand out in importance for building things. Cysteine is one of them. We're going to talk about the second one here in a little bit. Cysteine, as we said, is a protective molecule in its NAC form. It's a hardening molecule. It forms it's a key component in the formation of keratin, which makes your fingernails hard and makes rhinoceros horns hard and deer antlers hard. Our skin is basically coated with a layer of keratin, a very thin layer of keratin, almost like a fingernail. You can think of a very thin fingernail that coats the surface of the skin, the so-called stratum corneum, and it's all gets this hardening effect of this protein, gets its hardening properties from this amino acid cysteine. But cysteine also has a downside. There's a toxic form of cysteine which has been making the news, has made the news now for the last 20 years or so. It's called homocysteine. Homocysteine actually was the public first became aware of homocysteine in the late 1980s and early 1990s. Dr. Kilmer McCulley was the first guy to bring public awareness to the potential connection between disease, specifically heart disease, and homocysteine. Dr. McCulley actually discovered this connection back in the late 1960s. He was and is a brilliant visionary physician, one of the good guys. He's a Harvard graduate with honors from Harvard. He's a recipient of many awards for medicine, including the prestigious Linus Pauling Functional Medicine Awards. Obviously, this guy's not a flake, not some wild-eyed anti-establishment radical. He's pretty much a mainstream doctor. Dr. McCulley's been a guest on the Brightside, and he's, in my opinion, one of the great heroes of the battle being waged by ethical, honest, and caring healthcare professionals against the established paradigm and status quo that's represented by the Institute of Medicine and its academic poodles, lapdogs, that corroborate and certify this dogma, the predatory dogma that passes for real science and unfortunately justifies the modern medical reliance on pharmaceuticals and surgical treatments for diseases of toxicity and deficiency. This is oftentimes what happens with the status quo, oftentimes what happens with an establishment. The status quo and establishment, unfortunately, oftentimes exists just to perpetuate itself. It forgets that its mandate is to help people. Institutions sometimes forget that its mandate is to help those that compose the institution. Certainly we see this in government. We see this with the state. The state oftentimes forget that it's not there for itself. It's there for the people. When an institution forgets that it's there for the people that compose that institution, that marks the beginning of the end for that institution, whether the institution is government, whether the institution is the state, or whether the institution is established models of health like what we call the modern medical model. In any case, Dr. McCulley is an Ivy League guy. He's a professor of pathology at Brown University. He's the author of mainstream books, several mainstream books, including one classic, at least in the world of books for the public. It's a book I read probably 10 or 15 years ago, which first introduced me to the important subject of homocysteine toxicity, and that's a book called The Homocysteine Revolution. In any case, Dr. McCulley was a resident in Mass General Hospital back in the late 1960s when he noticed that the symptoms of heart disease, atherosclerosis, specifically clogged arteries, were very similar to the symptoms of a genetic disorder called homocystinuria, which is a genetic disorder where homocysteine levels build up in ridiculously high amounts in the blood. As the story goes, Dr. McCulley had a patient who was 9 years old, a little girl who was 9 years old, and she had this disease where homocysteine levels just build up to crazy amounts. And this girl's uncle had the same disease many years earlier when he was 9 years old. No one understood really what kind of health issues were going on, but they noticed that both this little girl, Dr. McCulley knows that this little girl, and many years earlier it was noticed that this little girl's cousin or uncle had very high levels of homocysteine and also had clogged arteries. Now, clogged arteries occur when we get older. Clogged arteries, it's understandable that the arteries would clog with age, but this was a 9-year-old girl. And earlier, her uncle, who was also 9 years old, had the same problem. These were little kids who had atherosclerosis, the same kind of atherosclerosis that occurred in older folks. But these little kids with atherosclerosis also had elevated levels, ridiculously high elevated levels of homocysteine. And Dr. McCulley wondered if there was a connection between the high levels of homocysteine and atherosclerosis. And this is very significant because at the time, everybody was obsessed with the so-called lipid hypothesis of heart disease. That is the idea that eating fat made you have heart attacks. There's still boneheaded doctors who'll tell you that. Eating fat gives you heart attacks. I talk to doctors all the time. They say, well, you got to lower your saturated fat. They tell you saturated fat. These are doctors who don't do research. These are doctors who don't follow up on the literature. And lay people as well. Usually they live in New York, I find. Not just New York, but usually they live on the East Coast. This is where the mainstream model is really entrenched, on the East Coast. In any case, you find lay people and you find doctors and you find physicians who'll tell you that it's fats and it's saturated fat, it's cholesterol that cause heart disease. And even though today it's the log jam in this belief system is starting to break, back in the late 1960s, it was really the firm belief of medical professionals that heart disease was caused by lipids and fats. And Dr. McCulley came along and said, well, wait a minute. Seems to be something else percolating here, and it involves homocysteine. I'll tell you what happened to Dr. McCulley for having the nerve to contradict the medical model when we come back from our break.
You have all seen and heard about the elements of the periodic table. These elements are the building blocks of everything in the universe. You, my friends, are made from these elements. A shortage of any of these important trace elements can lead to disease. Go with the science and take the Lady Talk Health Challenge and get all 90 essential trace elements with a healthy start pack at LadyTalkLive.com or call 855-333-LADY. That's 855-333-5239.
Research shows it's not just what you put in your body that counts, it's what you put on it as well. Why not use an all-natural, healthy mineral-based makeup that actually benefits your skin? Once you experience the airiness and flawless coverage of Longevity mineral makeup, you will never use anything else. With Longevity, the perception of your complexion will be natural perfection. Animal-friendly mineral makeup at Mary Lou Health. That's MARILU Health.com or call 855-321-HEALTH.
Hi, this is Gary Cooper with Midas Resources, Gold and Silver. Government shutdown, inept politicians, entitlements, looming Obamacare. The death of the U.S. dollar as the global reserve currency is what nobody wants to acknowledge. We have a debt bubble that cannot be paid and will eventually crash the dollar. If you're concerned about keeping your money, why not consider storing your wealth in gold and silver? Call me, Gary Cooper, at 1-800-686-2237, extension 130. Together we'll discuss your options of buying gold and silver. Again, the global elite have plans for your money, and it doesn't include you. So call me, Gary Cooper, at 1-800-686-2237, extension 130, and we'll discuss your options of buying precious metals. Also, I can send you information on how you can roll over your IRA or 401k into a precious metal IRA. Again, don't get caught with money in your account when the dollar crashes. Call me, Gary Cooper, at 1-800-686-2237, extension 130.
For over 5 years, you've been hearing about the Berkey Guy, so you may know a few things about him. For example, you are well aware of the superior quality and effectiveness of Berkey water filters and accessories. But did you know the Berkeys have had independent lab tests done to prove just how effective they are? It's true, and he can email you the test results. Just visit GoBerkey.com. You may also know that the Berkey Guy has helped tens of thousands of people get better prepared. Now here's something you may not know. GoBerkey.com has amazing specials and deals all the time on a wide variety of survival and preparedness products. Most ready to ship same day. Visit the Berkey Guy at GoBerkey.com and be sure to click the red Products on Sale Now button. You can always call toll-free 877-886-3653. Again, that's 877-886-3653. GoBerkey.com, home of the Berkey Guy.
Yeah? Did you want to see me, sir? Well, I did, but now that I do, I'm not so sure. Sir? Johnson, I got a mission for you that could change your life. Oh, good, sir. It involves traveling halfway around the world without so much as half a clue of where you're going or what you're going to do when you get there. Situation normal, sir? Uh-huh. Right, I'll be leading this mission, Johnson, so I'll be telling you what to do. You, sir? That's right, Johnson, and I say first things first. Oh, good plan, sir. And when I say as first is food. Always remember that, Johnson. Food is a big deal. Sir, my brother-in-law can give us a really good deal on some surplus MREs. Johnson, if you've got half a brain and that empty head of yours, you'll call the freeze-dry guy like I did. That food is better for you, it rehydrates faster, and it's good, Johnson. And it keeps for up to 30 years. Will we be gone that long, sir? Well, I hope not. Now get your supplies organized and meet me down to the pier at dawn on Sunday. We sail at sunrise. Yes, sir.
This adventure is brought to you by the Freeze-Dry Guy. Call 866-404-3663 or visit freezedryguy.com.
Independently leading the way for the nation. Compelling talk for every political persuasion. We are G.
All right, we're back on the bright side. I am your host, Pharmacist Ben. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're here every day, Monday through Friday, 8 to 9 Pacific, 10 to 11 Central Time. 24 hours and 7 days a week at brightsideben.com. On the archive page, you got over 3 years of archives up. If you miss a program, you can always review them. And if you want to search a program, you can head over to benfuchsarchives.com. We have a search box. Thank you to Peter in the UK. It works pretty darn well. You just punch in a topic and you'll get the shows that where we talked about those topics. You can also check out my blog, pharmacistben.com, and if you want to purchase any of the longevity products that you hear us talk about on the Brightside, you can head over to brightsideben.com. Of course, you can always join the Brightside Ben team by clicking on the Join the Team link.